Alright, we're in round 3. We don't have a black mana, but I'm still going to keep this hand, I think, because we have 8 sources of black, which I'm hoping to see. And we have our other 3 colors, and we can at least play a morphed Abzan guide. So just hoping we can find a black mana at some point. That's not a black mana. Alright, Valley Dasher is going to be a problem if we don't find a black mana, that is. If we do find a black mana, should be fine. Alright, Watcher of the Roost is actually acceptable too, so that should help mitigate some of the damage we lose from that Valley Dasher. I may actually just play the Watcher, unmorph it, and block the Valley Dasher. That probably is for the best. So we're playing against aggro Mardu, which I still have a sneaking suspicion is the most popular new archetype in the format. Well, we're going to have to find a swamp eventually, I wager. Let's get in with Hateblade. Drop a Watcher and pass. If he kills it, whatever. Let's reveal... What do we reveal? I don't want him to know about either of these cards, but we are going to definitely reveal one of them. So, I don't know what we're revealing yet. The Guide versus Harsh Sustenance. Honestly, I don't know. I almost want to reveal the Harsh Sustenance. So I did. Because if I morph out the guide, he'll know it's a guide. I kind of like keeping that illusion alive. So let's see if we get a black mana here. That would be nice. And don't get it, unfortunately. So now I've got to come up with a pretty solid game plan here. I guess we morph out the pony back, pass. Theoretically, we should find a swamp at some point. In theory. Yeah, it's not really what I want to see. That, similarly, is not what I want to see. See if we can't find a black mana and get back in this. Nope. No black mana, so we're in pretty bad shape now. This is going to be a rough one to come back from, I believe, at this point. So we'll have to think up some sort of solution to how we don't just lose right away. I guess we're going to drop a pony, but we're going to block the war name with our pony back. Really don't like how this game's going. I was very much hoping to find a black mana by now, but unfortunately no such luck. Yep, that's pretty awful for us. So losing far more life than I can afford to, and just really losing to an aggro deck in the worst possible way you possibly can, which is mana issues, of course, mana issues. Still can't find the swamp, which is super frustrating. Super frustrating. As I mentioned, just taking so much more damage than I can afford to. It's embarrassing how much damage I'm taking right now. Just because I'm having mana issues, which is just really irritating. Super irritating. So, let's see here. We'll go like this, and I guess we'll go like this. Reveal the card. That doesn't matter anymore because we can't play it anyway. There's just no hope to recovery at this point. Because I can't play the spells in my stupid hand. Yep, that's just about it. Alright, so lost against aggro, which is really frustrating, especially the way we lost against it, so I'm hoping we can actually draw lands in game 2 and then win, and draw lands in game 3 and then win that one. So really hoping on Magic to allow me to draw lands, since I'm going to be unable to play our spells without lands. I know it's kind of a foreign concept to some people, but it's something I learned over the years of playing Magic, that you need lands to play spells. I know it's really weird. It's very strange. Do I want Despise? Just for more early things, maybe? I don't know what I cut for it. I've got all this life gain. Like I've mentioned 30,000 times, I just needed to draw lands to be absolutely fine that game, but was unable to do it. So let's just play again and actually draw lands. Well, all right, the game heard me, but they heard me a little bit too loud and clear. I wanted lands, but not every single one on my deck in my opening hand. So now I'm debating whether I should keep this, or am I just going to draw lands on the play. Oh, God. It's just one of those awful situations you don't want to be in, where you have the choice between mulliganing a 6-lander versus aggro. If we draw lands, we just lose. We just lose if we draw lands. Just lose. No possible way to win if we draw lands. If I mulligan and I don't see lands and I go to 5, we almost assuredly lose. How do I get a hand? What is better, the 6-lander or the potential for... Oh, this is killing me. I'm going to have a migraine. Six lands with all 4 colors and a Watcher of the Roost, or mull to 6 and hope that I don't end up with 2 Ivory Tusk Fortress, a Noxious Dragon, and 3 3-drops. I'm going to keep it. I really hate this hand. I absolutely despise this hand, but I'm keeping it. All right. Even though it's a 6-drop, spells I will take. No Valley Dasher is also good news. Land is the worst, as we well know. Land is definitely the worst. I'm morphing in that chance that I draw a white spell. No 3-drop is just downright surprising, but certainly good. So let's reveal Monk, which was a good draw, since it not only allows me to flip the Watcher of the Roost for life gain, but drop another blocker. Plus, we're still moving towards our Noxious Dragon, which should be good. You could have Alabaster Kieran here, but that's not the worst. All right. I guess the major issue, I could have probably faked attacking with the Monk there, but I didn't. So we played, yeah, but I was saying the major issue with the dragon is if he has removal for it, which is entirely possible, I can't actually kill his Kieran. All right, double Kieran. At this point, I think we're just leaving the Noxious Dragon back on defense. There's a Harsh Sustenance, so let's play the dragon. If he swings next turn, I think I don't block. Because it tells me he's got ride down. So what I think I'd like to do is I'd rather attack in and then Harsh Sustenance be double blocks, or Harsh Sustenance one of his guys. Because if he attacks here, I don't really have any incentive to block just based on the fact that I know he's got ride down, which is just too good of a blowout play here. So I think I'd rather just... He didn't even fake it, which is good news. He's got a morph. All right, let's... That's actually fine. So now I can Harsh Sustenance plus Vanguard, which is really good. Let's I almost want to dash the Vanguard and swing with everything. I know it seems risky, but he's only got 1 mana on tap, so... What this does is, he's going to be tempted to put the Kirin on the Watch of the Roost, which is actually okay. Because then we'll just Harsh Sustenance and buff our Dragonbell Monk, which is another one that he may block. But even if he doesn't, at this point I'm willing to trade my Watcher and a Harsh Sustenance. Guess I can also just swing here. This is probably the best. He's taking it all, which is pretty interesting. 4, 7, 9. So if I Harsh Sustenance for 4, I bring him to 14. This comes up to 10. So he'd go to 4 life. I think I'd just chill this turn. I'm not going to use Harsh Sustenance yet. Could have used it on his morph, which would have been reasonable. Alright, we'll take our damage. Skull Hunter's not big deal. No more plays. Alright. Let's do the thing we did before. It's got 2 mana. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, let's, we can't kill him with Harsh Sustenance. If I had a Falconer out, I guess I could, but let's hit a Kirin. To prowess our guy. Deal that. Alright. So now I feel like we're in much better shape this game. Plus we killed a Ponyback Brigade, which you couldn't flip. So my opponent's mana issues cost him this game, which is certainly a welcome sight since my keep was so bad and panned out so good. My draws could have been horrible there, and they turn out really well. So I had like the lowest threshold keep you could possibly have, which is a 6-lander with against aggro, and it panned out because he missed on his land drops and had a slow start. So thankfully, the best circumstances possible worked out that game. So I am thankful for that. I almost want to bring in Despise. I tried to do that before, and I'm just having a hard time. It's tough because I want to get rid of those Alabaster Curans, but the problem with Despise is it's pretty god-awful late game. And in the case of aggro, it's even awful like mid-game. Does this give lifelink? That would have been nice. Vigilance actually isn't bad either. I think we gotta just try it again. I don't think I've got anything other than this Despise. Another 6-lander with a 9-drop. And once again, all 4 colors. I think I gotta mull this one. I know. You'd think I could get lucky again, but this hand is actually worse. This hand is actually worse than last game's, since even if I had all these lands in play, I wouldn't be able to play Necropolis Fiend. It's just... I can't keep this. Not on the draw against aggro. This hand I'm going to keep. It's a 1-lander, which is terrible, but the fact that we have Ruthless Ripper, in my mind, makes it keepable. Whether or not that's true remains to be seen, but even if we can find a white source, yes, we need to draw lands, and I'm super frustrated that we just went from a 6 to a 1-lander. I just really hate the variance. I really hate that variance so much. But if we can draw lands, we can get back in this. I'm just really hopeful we can draw lands. All right. Land. Please don't let me miss. Thank you. I'll take it. I don't even care if it's a swamp. I'll take any lands. So the question is, do we want to trade that? I don't think we do. I think we take this one. Much rather block a morph or something like that. Well, Warname Aspirant, yeah. Yeah, and a Skirmisher. All right, so he's got a 6 start, which is terrible news. So hopefully we did get a land, which I will take. Obviously not the land I was hoping for, but now the question is, do I want to leave up Honor's Reward? Oh, God. All right, I'm going to trade a Ripper for a Skull Hunter. And then I guess we're playing a Falconer to trade with. I'm so frustrated right now. My level of frustration is just through the roof. So I guess we do the Monk. Although they both trade, huh? Maybe we do the Falconer because it survives more. And then I trade with the Chief of the Edge, potentially. Problem is I need to find a way to cast here Honor's Reward. I mean, I can cast it to just gain life, I guess, but yep, makes sense. So I guess we do this. Don't have Ride Down. Ugh. I'm so disgusted right now. God. So I get to Honor's Reward, still lose my rats. Guess I could have played the Abzan guide, but the problem is I would have had to trade with the Warname Aspirant to live. All right, extremely disappointed with how this draft ended up, since I thought this deck is probably one of the best I've drafted. Just really unhappy with how this went, but you draw poorly sometimes. You got to fight through it, so it's tough for me to fight through it sometimes. I live with a lot of frustration playing this game every day, because you start to take a lot of pride in it when you play every day. You just keep jamming, you keep jamming. You think you reach a point where you've exceeded, or you've learned something, or I don't even know what I'm looking to say. You feel like you reach the point where you can just consistently win, but then Magic just reminds you that you just bad draws happen. You have to remember that variance is a part of this game, and you never want to accept it. You always want to accept it. It's like, no, I'm a skilled player. Nothing could go wrong, but it just doesn't work like that. And the luck factor still gets to me after so many years of playing this game. The luck factor stuff like that just grinds on me. It really does irritate me, like to a next level. Just so irritating to me. But I'm going to keep drafting and hopefully make more sweet decks like this that do a lot better than this one did. So hope you look forward to that, and we'll see you for the next one.